Hey everybody, welcome to Cherry Wayne. My name is Mary, and today we're going to do a maker diary. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've been working on and maybe have a little chat. So let's dive right in. I have been doing a lot of painting recently, so I'll jump into those in just a second. But what I wanted to talk about first, so I don't forget, is our Flurry Cow 25. So I have all these really pretty crochet snowflakes, and I'm making a tutorial for each one. And then on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you like to post, you can use the hashtag FlurryCow25, and we can share beautiful snowflakes. I will try to make a page on Ravelry. I don't really know how to do that, but I will try. So I wanted to mention that because I have made 2 videos for that. I just posted one today. I think that they're really pretty and they're a lot easier than they look like they are to make. So I'm confident that you can do it as well. So definitely check those out. I have some felt pieces here I can show you before I show you the paintings. I also wanted to say I know I haven't posted maker diaries or a vlog or anything super recently. I'm just going to be so blatantly honest here. I'm trying to build up my TikTok. I'm trying to build up my YouTube. I'm trying to get some sort of community together. The things that I do are mostly, I make my art to sell it, but I make my art to share it as well as to teach people how to make their own art as well. So I struggle with taking the time to sit down and interrupt my flow, I guess, by stopping and going to make sure that I film it and share it on all the social medias. And then because I'm still in the stage of building my platform, I feel like I'm talking to myself a lot. I'm just going to be so honest with you, and it's very discouraging. Mostly because I did do this full time for like 5 years, and I was happy with my growth at the time and the little community that I had. But ever since COVID, when things started opening back up, I had to stop doing this full time and go back out and get a job outside of the house. And I was doing cake decorating and just had a lot of stuff going on at home and wasn't able to post really, so I didn't. And the way that the internet works, or algorithm, or whatever the hell you want to call it, if you're not posting all day, every day, or consistently posting the same time every week or whatever, you get lost in the shuffle of things. And so the community that I had built is no longer. The platform that I had is irrelevant. And so that's the case for my Instagram, which I have almost 1,200 followers on Instagram. And then on TikTok, I completely restarted because most of the people that had been following me from the last couple of years, I don't know, they either aren't on TikTok anymore or they're not seeing my videos. So again, I hate that it's this way, but this is just a fact. When you're not getting the views and not getting the engagement, you don't get put out into the algorithm. And I really wish that wasn't the case, but it just is. So having my YouTube and my TikTok and all that I've had for several years, but I've had times where I go 8 or 9 months without posting, or again, people that are following me don't really watch my videos or comment or engage because they either aren't on YouTube anymore or just don't want to watch my content, which is totally fine. I basically have to start from zero, and I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay consistent and do all the things, but it's just hard to do that. It really, everything that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about in the space of creating art, is ruined by trying to be seen and heard in what feels like an impossible space to do so sometimes. And then you see other people, which I'm not unhappy for them at all. It just, you see other people who just like accidentally fall into like blowing up overnight. And, you know, for people that spend years and all this time and effort putting into it, um, it's just very discouraging. So, in any case, sometimes I overthink it, whether or not I should even make the video or show my work or have the conversation or do the thing, because I feel like I'm talking to myself. But I do know that there are some people, I have gotten some comments on videos. I know people, I've gotten, you know, a few views here and there. Um, I do see your comments. I greatly appreciate them. So I know I'm not completely invisible. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, um, I'm trying to build a community, and so when it feels like I'm not getting anywhere, it's difficult. But I've also just been going through some stuff with my health on and off, and I'm feeling better now, so I am making this video and trying to get back on the horse and just make the content and be positive about it and be happy about it. So here we are. So these couple of felt pieces that I've made, I'll show you really quick. This one is meant to be a fire goddess. It's a very, very overcast, very cloudy, rainy day, so the lighting's not the greatest, but this is a fire goddess tapestry, so you just hang it on the wall. And I hand sewed all of that. There are some beads in there as well. And then I don't have a name for these little creatures, but I started making these out of felt, and they have little hats. I have a second one I'm working on, but I haven't finished its hat yet. I've been painting a lot, so this is my little paint bucket, so that's why that, it's not a pile of junk, it's actually a box of paint, so that's why that's there. And then I have a friend of mine whose dog passed away and was obviously a big part of her family and very special to her, so I wanted to make an ornament for her dog. And her dog is a black poodle named Dixie. So I don't know the proper term, but all the places where she had like the poofs of hair, I added some beaded sequins. So those are a couple of the felt pieces I had. And then I have some canvases that I had done some paintings on, obviously. And I was thinking, I used to take cardboard and cardstock and all kinds of things and either draw or paint secondary things that I would glue to the canvas that were a little bit higher up. So I'd stack a couple pieces of cardboard between them So when you looked at the canvas, it looked like things were coming out at you. And I thought about that, but the thing is, when I would do that, they would be permanently adhered to the canvas, so you couldn't do anything else with them. So then since I've been doing all this felt work, I had thought, well, why don't I make the felt pieces and then see if I can put a magnet on them, so that way you can change them out, you can move them around, you can take my paintings and my felt work and kind of have your own experience in some fashion. So I have this painting, and I've added a mushroom and a Luna moth, and you can move it around wherever you want. I have other things that I'd like to make with the felt, but yeah, it's just something new to try. I think it's a fun idea. And this is the biggest canvas that I just happen to have right now. So yeah. And I made this all out of felt, as well as this mushroom. So there's that. This canvas isn't finished, but I have all these smaller canvases that I had been working on. And same concept, so this is a blueberry frog, and it's on a magnet, so you can move it around wherever you want. I still have to figure out what I want to put on the canvas itself. And then the thing is, if you wanted to take them off or swap them out for other things that I've made, you could do that. But then you can use them as a fridge magnet as well if you don't want them on the canvas. So this is a very, very new idea. Like, just thought about it last night, so I'm still developing that idea. So let me show you all of the paintings that I've been doing. I've loved doing paintings for years, but I try not to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm just not that kind of person. Never have been in my life, but especially creatively speaking. So, you know, a lot of my videos might have knitting or crochet, but again, I'm in a painting mood, so I'll have a lot of paintings to show you. But these are all 4-inch, I think it's 1.5 inch, 4-inch by 1.5 inch stretched canvases. This is acrylic paint. If you would like a tutorial, maybe do a little paint along video, I'd be happy to do that with you guys. So let me know which style you think you might want. But for now, these are just, I'm trying to build up an inventory of things to do some local markets and things like that. So this one is a marsh landscape. I wish the lighting was better, but you get the gist. I have a couple snowflakes that I've done. Can't really see any of the details, but we're not gonna stress it. I have a blue toned snowflake. I have a couple winter scenes. So these are ones that if you'd want a tutorial for, we can do something like that together. This is another winter scene. This is a pink winter scene with a bunch of trees and snow. I have a couple more marsh landscapes. So I currently live in South Carolina. I'm not from South Carolina, but I've lived here for quite a few years on and off. And the landscapes of the marsh is something that reminds me of my dad, who passed away several years ago, and it's just beautiful. So I do like to paint those pretty often. And again, I really can't show you, at least not in this lighting, a good view of them, but this one is one of my favorite ones, this landscape. Let's see here. So my business name, my studio name, all that is Cherry Wayne. So I did a cherry painting. And this is a little bit of an older one, but this is a toad. I'm trying to work on doing some pet portraits. I'm just practicing for right now before I open myself up to commissions. I don't have a picture of this pet, but my best friend, her dog that has passed, I don't know when he passed, but it was several years ago. She shared a picture with me so I could try to do a portrait of him, and this is how it turned out. Obviously, if I showed you the picture, you could better tell if it was a good painting or not, but in any case, I tried my best. I'm still practicing. I'd love to do more pet portraits and eventually be able to open myself up for commissions, but this is my first one and I'm pretty happy with it. And then I'm trying to do just other animals until I get like personal pets. So I really think that skunks are really cute. So I did a skunk. And there's a lot of, I really wish the lighting was better. But there's a lot of details in the background that you can't see. And it's really pissing me off if I'm being so honest with you. But anyways, if you want to see better pictures or anything, just look on my Instagram. But I have painted a skunk. And I think he's cute. So those are all my most recent paintings. I also, just a reminder as well, the snowflake tutorials, I have 2 up so far. There will be 6 total. I'd love if you'd join the crochet along for those snowflakes. I also have a tutorial up on how to make these beaded spiders. Now, if you don't celebrate Christmas, I think they're pretty just all year. I hang them on my wall or use them for jewelry. But there is a little bit of a Christmas tale, little Christmas history that goes along with these. So they're a lot easier than they look like they are. They take pretty minimal materials, so if you want to check out that tutorial as well, please go ahead and do so. I will show you 2 last things. I have been making a ton of paper snowflakes. I have a tutorial here on YouTube how to make them out of paper bags. So if you want to recycle, you can use any paper. Any type of paper you can come up with. As long as you have a rectangle, you can make a snowflake. But my husband was nice enough to get me some parchment paper from work. They have the big industrial oven, so they use like big sheets. Basically, it's like a size of a baking sheet of parchment paper, and I thought that would make perfect snowflakes because I originally was going to make a giant snowflake with poster board, but I found that the poster board is too thick to fold it the way you need to. So the baking sheets that they use used to be brown, but they have since started to use white ones, which is perfect for a snowflake. So this is the first one I made. I did this today. And you can see it makes a nice big snowflake. And then this is the second one I did. Now these are pretty fragile. They're thin because they're on this baking paper. But once you put them up against something, they'd lay flat and pretty. So if you put them up on the wall or something. So this is the second snowflake that I made. And the same thing goes for these. You can use the tutorial that I put up on how to make the paper bag snowflakes. And you could use parchment paper, construction paper, cardstock. If you use cardstock, just be mindful that it is a little bit thicker. And you're going to have to fold this up quite a few times. So you do kind of want a thinner paper. I just thought the paper bag video would be nice because you can recycle it. You can use wrapping paper if you have little, if you're wrapping gifts and you have some leftover paper. Again, as long as you have a rectangle, you can end up folding that into the appropriate piece. You could really use a square as well. A square would work. So I've just been making a lot of snowflakes on top of everything else. So I think that's it for now. I appreciate everyone that watches and sticks around for my videos. I appreciate everybody that comments. I hope you're doing really well. I want to continue posting videos and just creating a nice little community here. So any suggestions for videos that you have, let me know. Or if you maybe want me to do a Q&A video just to get to know me or my art or my experience with everything a little bit better, maybe leave some questions below for that as well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.